let's look at some of these swatches. I've got a whole pile here of swatches from when I made my book, The Knitted Rug. And I just want to show you some different yarns that we used, that I used in these swatches. And some ended up being in rugs and some not. So this is 2 swatches of mitered squares that I was testing out. And this is a single strand of super bulky rug wool. It's the Halcyon rug wool that I mentioned in the lesson. And this is a double strand of a yarn that is like a chunky weight. It's Encore from Plymouth. So it's wool and acrylic. So it goes in the washer and dryer. This one doesn't, but it's a very coarse wool. It feels rough and strong. This is much softer, but you can see the 2 strands of this are about the same girth as 1 strand of that one. So that's something that you can do on your own. You can put a couple strands together to make the yarn girth that you want if you have a thinner yarn you want to use. This is a sample of a chunky or super bulky cotton yarn. It's a craft store cotton, probably Aunt Lydia's or Lion brand, I don't remember, but I really like how it works up for rugs. I think cotton rugs are really nice. They feel nice and soft. You can throw them in the washer and dryer. Worst thing that happens is they shrink and then they get thicker. So cotton's a really good choice. This is another cotton, the same type of yarn, and you can see that it's got multiple strands that are applied together, got lots of cat hair on it, and I did this swatch in a seed stitch. I would probably actually work this tighter for a real rug. You can see how this is really tight and this one's knit looser. So another reason for your swatches is to feel what the fabric is like and see what you think. Here's a swatch I did where I put 3 strands of yarn together, and this is yarn that I dyed myself with plant dyes, and you can see if you look closely there's a medium, a dark, and a light color, and I wanted to make it really tweedy, and I over dyed this over gray shades of gray yarn. And when I put them all together, I got a nice thick yarn about the same thickness as that super bulky rug yarn, and a really tweedy color because I combined my different shades. So this is 3 strands of worsted weight put together. This rug I did out of 2 strands of that super bulky rug yarn, and I had to do it on like size 15 needles. You can see it's only like a stitch and a half per inch. I used such big yarn, but it makes a really thick rug. Of course, you won't be able to get the gauge that you would get with just a single strand of super bulky. So it will change the size of a rug if you're working from a pattern that's written for a different yarn. But that's okay unless you have this really small space you need to fit it in. It's really nice. I like this one a lot. This yarn used as a double strand. This is a cotton chenille that I had and that I used as a double strand. And this is really cool. I made a bath mat out of it because it's very absorbent. And again, it's one that I knit a little looser than I could have, but it shrinks when you put it in the washer and dryer, and it fluffs up really nice. And you can see here where my ends are. I didn't tie them in on this swatch, so you can see how thick one strand is. It's a pretty bulky yarn, but I still use 2 together just to get a really thick bath mat. So these are just some more ideas. This is going to be in the bonus section, how to knit this for when you go on to design your own rugs. This is a different kind of center that you can do, and then you'll be able to build on it the same way we are in our class. I'll show you how to do this and the different colors. It's shaped with short rows, but this is a single strand of the rug wool. And it's nice. And I will find before the end of the class a piece I made with more built on it like this, and then I felted it. And it was knit pretty much like this. It's pretty tight, firm, but not too tight. The thing is, when you have garter stitch, if you're going to felt it, you have to put something on the edge. You can't just leave it like this, because when you felt it, the garter ridges will open up and you'll get a ruffle around the edge. So if you are going to felt something like this, you'll need to crochet around the edge or do something else to keep it from flaring out and ruffling. I learned that by accident. This is two different yarns. I think this is a Plymouth and this is a Lion brand, but I liked the colors together, and they were both either 100% acrylic or woolen acrylic. I don't remember. I never made the whole rug. This is one of the centers we're going to learn in this week's lesson. And you start here and increase, and then you knit till it's long as you want almost, and then you decrease. So it's a real easy piece to do, but it's not the easiest one because it has increases and decreases. I'm going to show you another one that doesn't even have that. But here you can see I've combined garter stitch and stockinette stitch, and we'll be learning more about how to make the different strips in those fabrics next week. But I wanted you to just see a little close-up in different colors of how the different textures look together. This is that spiral one that I showed you before. This is a Lion brand Thick and Quick or something, and I did it all in one color. So you can see the patterning a little bit, but it's not really as clear as it is when it's multiple colors. But I just wanted to show you that it is an option. You don't have to have so many colors in your rug. You can use this technique to make something solid if you want. This is a yarn that's not available anymore, which is a shame. I really liked it. I used a double strand. It's super bulky. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's kind of felted. It's not plied. It's a singles yarn. A lot of the singles yarn are easy to fray, and I've used some of them for rugs anyway because you can just knit them tightly and they hold up okay. But this was really nice because it was slightly felted. And I used two strands together, and I just want to show you, I had two colors, so you can put two of the same color or one strand of each color together and create a blending of your tones. And this is a boucle yarn, so it was a super bulky yarn, it's alpaca boucle. Particular yarn's not available anymore. Too bad, because I loved it, but I wanted to show you that you can use textury yarns. Now you can see here the stitches don't show up, because the yarn texture is what takes over. But this is garter stitch. It's that same one with the increases and decreases, and it's all garter stitch. Since the stitches don't show up, I didn't see any point to do anything more complicated. So that's just a little overview of some different yarns that I've played with for knitting rugs.